Alright, welcome back to Umineko. Part 3 of episode 2. And we just left off with Aunt Ava being absolutely savage to Shannon in the flower garden. Jesus, did she tear her a new one. Basically saying, don't you look at my son. He's too good for you. You stay in your place, servant. So yeah, that's where we are. We've come inside. George went inside for a marriage meeting. I don't know if we're skipping over that. Maybe it's just, George has marriage meetings. Or if we're gonna go in and see that. Not sure. From this line, I would assume maybe we're still in Shannon's point of view. So yeah, let's just read and find out. We'll see what's going on. It's time for me to take a serious look at how full of myself I've been acting. I forgot. Okay, this gotta be Shannon. I'm furniture. Yes, of course. Furniture isn't human. So I am a being who must feel gratitude for even being treated like a human. And I am not permitted to wish for anything more. People sometimes develop affection for furniture they're used to using. But that is an emotion on the human side, and the furniture has no right to hope for such a thing. An affection for furniture they're used to using, huh? It's enough that furniture serves with simple honesty day after day. That feeling I got when talking to George-sama and Jessica-sama is the same as a forbidden drug to me. In other words, it may be an emotion I must never experience. Man, the dehumanizing that the staff, the servants at the Yoshiramiya mansion go through is pretty incredible. It's like akin to brainwashing. Something else, man.
シャノン、先ほどからぼんやりが過ぎます。体調でも悪いのですか？
いえ、失礼いたしました。
Natsuhi's words were right on the mark. Even Shannon couldn't believe that she hadn't noticed Natsuhi until she had called. Normally, it was essential that she focus on her cleaning at this time of day. But she'd spent all her time sighing and hardly making any progress.
たとえお客様がおられなくても、常に気を張っていなくてはなりません。そんな様では、後ろ宮家に仕える使用人として情けありませんよ。
はい。以後注意します。
もうじき、当主様と主人がお帰りになられます。書斎の清掃は済んでいますか？階段の清掃は済んでいますか？
申し訳ございません。まだです。
ええ、知っています。ですから、ルノンにやらせておきました。
Dunon. I forget. They say, I'm not sure. They may have said how many other staff they have. Because we have Shannon Cannon. I think this is the first time we've heard the name of another one of the staff with that naming scheme.
あなたがもたもたと廊下を清掃している時間で、彼女は書斎と階段の清掃を済ませてしまいましたよ。
それは丁寧にお掃除をしていたから時間がかかってしまって。
Shannon was simple and honest, so she would always carry out her tasks seriously and properly, without any omissions. So she was always slow with her work. In contrast, Lunon cleverly avoided doing extra work whenever it was possible, so she could complete her jobs with a result that looked almost the same to an outsider, but in a much shorter time. In other words, she was a shrewd employee. Compared to that, it's probably fair to say that Shannon wasn't very shrewd at all, talking back to Natsuhi when Natsuhi was in a bad mood. Of course, there was nothing that Natsuhi couldn't stand more than a servant talking back. Her forehead creased and she spoke sternly. And yet, her slow, admonishing style of speech was even more terrifying, and finally made Shannon realize she had said the wrong thing.
ならば存分にわかりました。
Whoops. Whoa. Did not mean to press that.
奥様。
What is that rumbling sound? Was that meant to be the wrath of Natsuhi? I had clicked so it kept going after. Maybe that was supposed to be the rumbling while Natsuhi was angry. Guess I can't replay the line, can I? Or I've forgotten how. No food or rest. Okay.
結構。使用人はその言葉だけを口にするように。次の口答えにはより厳しい罰を与えますから、そのつもりで。よく胸に刻んでおきなさい。
はい。ご指導ありがとうございます。
どういたしまして。
Behaving as though her headache was troubling her, Natsuhi headed off down the corridor. When she couldn't see her anymore, Shannon hung her head and sighed. This was what happened when she had her head in the clouds. Even though I'm bad at everything I do, I should be able to rest. I should be able to at least carry out the cleaning as well as an average person can, right? It's because I can't even perform that very well that I'm crying so pathetically. But what's even more shameful is that not only have I been unable to perform a single bit of cleaning well, but just now when Natsuhi was scolding me, I imagined that person appearing and rescuing me. If only George-sama were here, would he casually step in and save me? Surely he'd show up cheerfully, intentionally acting like he didn't know what was going on, nimbly change the subject, and make me forget I'd ever been rebuked by Natsuhi. I kept envisioning him, suddenly appearing from the other side of the door, or the other end of the hallway. I envisioned the kind of person that would be an appropriate partner for him in a marriage meeting. And I envisioned how unfitting I was for him. Ava clearly told me. It's been repeating over and over in my dreams.
姉さんは相変わらず不器用だね。
Canon appears in Chapter 2. Episode 2.
奥様は今朝から虫の居所が悪い。黙ってうなずいていればいいものを余計なことを言うから。
カノン君。
Canon was suddenly there. His footsteps were always quieter than a cat's, and he never left any trace of his presence. He probably could have stood there forever, and she still wouldn't have noticed him. The expression on Canon's face was one of hatred. He made that expression for Shannon, who didn't know how to do it herself.
奥様も、そしてルノンも地獄へ落ちろ。
Yeah, careful how loud you say that, or you are gonna... I don't even know what would happen.
あいつは奥様がどこをチェックするか知ってて、そこしか掃除しない。さっきの掃除もそうだった。見ていたから知ってる。本当の意味での掃除なんかしてないんだよ。 丁寧に掃除する姉さんに寄生してるだけの最低なやつだ。
そんな汚い言葉を使ってはダメよ。汚い言葉はカノン君の綺麗な魂まで怪我してしまう。
Pollute your clean soul.
だからせめて私の前ではそんな言葉遣いをしないで。ね。
Cannon turned away as though sulking. It was a reaction that hid his true feelings, which was very like Cannon, but I was a little happy. He was getting mad for my sake.
大広間の掃除は大変だよ。僕も手伝う。
ありがとう。でも奥様に命じられたのは私だから大丈夫。
I'm glad these two have each other to look out for each other, you know. They're not completely alone.
カノン君にも自分のお仕事があるんでしょ。
汚らわしい仕事だよ。僕の魂なんてとっくに汚れてる。
Cannon then hung his head and bit his lower lip.
手伝ってくれるという言葉だけで私は十分。カノン君も自分の仕事に戻らないとあなたまで罰を受けることになっちゃう。そしたら私は悲しい。
Shannon knew Cannon's character well. Sometimes he didn't think enough about himself. If I don't refuse forcefully, he'll help me even if it means neglecting his own job. Cannon was a little sad that his goodwill had been rejected, but he realized that what he was doing would only hurt her more in the end, and he gave a single, small sigh.
わかったよ。姉さんも頑張って。
それに私にも責任はあるから。
姉さんには責任なんて何もないよ。
あるの。だからもう言って。
Cannon-kun's face showed that he still hadn't completely accepted it, but without being any more obstinate, he disappeared. Even though Cannon-kun came to give me words of comfort when I was down, even so, I was dejected again because it wasn't him. That in itself was a sin. It went far beyond any dream the likes of me could be permitted to see. I don't know my place. Shannon, who had neglected breakfast, already felt concentration beginning to waver. But if she didn't finish up cleaning in the reception hall, she wouldn't receive Natsuhi's permission to eat. Man, that cruel Natsuhi had surely told the kitchen something to that effect. I have to respectfully receive Madame's punishment. That's right. My position in the world is furniture, and I've been intoxicated by a dream that's beyond me. Jeez. Insane. I finished cleaning the hallway and went to the reception hall. Maybe my hunger made my nose more sensitive. I could sense a delicious aroma wafting from the kitchen, even though it was far away, and my empty stomach was encouraged even more. Until I finished up here, I wouldn't get any soup. I just had to resolve myself to doing it. Hello, Beatrice. Several portraits were hung in the reception hall. One of those portraits was thought to hold a special meaning amongst the servants. You don't say. It was the portrait of the witch. That wasn't its true name, but everyone in the mansion called it that. The name of the woman with elegant blonde hair, drawn as the subject of that portrait, was Beatrice. It was whispered that she might be the former mistress of Kinzo, the family head, and also that she was the great witch who had given Kinzo the gold of the legend. There's the, that thunderous sound again. Is there a storm outside? The witch Beatrice, master of the night on Rokkenjima. She was gracious to those who respected her, but she would surely curse those who made light of her. It was in Shannon's character not to neglect the rules and beliefs of such as those. So she thought of the portrait of her other master as that person herself, and always treated it carefully, treasuring it. And it had become part of her daily routine to tell the witch, who only existed inside the portrait, the secrets of her heart. Okay, interesting. Shannon is very accepting. I mean, Beatrice's main thing is, to be recognized. Sorry. Just taking a sip of water. Beatrice's main thing is to be, recognized and accepted, and obviously Battler completely denying her existence pissed her off quite a lot. But Shannon takes it to the opposite extreme, going so far as to talking to the portrait every day as if even the portrait were a person in itself. I feel like she would be on Beatrice's good side more so than most others because of that. She was furniture. Furniture doesn't complain. Cannot complain. Sorry, that being said, Canon and Ginzo, not Ginzo, Canon and Genji, both, were completely on board and, acted like, so maybe it's just all the servants, all the servants, like they just said, treat Beatrice as if she's simply just a real person, and there's no doubt in anyone's mind. I feel like maybe that was gone over in episode 1, and I'm just not super remembering it crystal clear. I sort of remember a scene in the kitchen where Ginzo and Canon are talking about Beatrice being real. Maybe that was it. So she had no right to speak her mind about her difficult days. She had no right to open her mouth and say those words. So she at least spoke her mind inside of her heart. She spoke her mind inside her heart using words she couldn't say aloud and protested to the formless witch. Of course, the witch didn't answer. She didn't console. She didn't laugh it off. Shannon could only interpret that silence as she liked, as though the witch was responding agreeably.
Beatrice 様、みすぼらしい私の話を聞いてください。
I say hopefully she's on, Beatrice's good side, but Shannon was one of the first to die last time. Then again, I don't think that was because of, you're standing with Beatrice. I think that was just the random selection from the roulette. So, being one of the first 6, I don't think had any bearing on Beatrice's opinion of you or anything. As Shannon wiped the dust from the witch's portrait, she spoke that inside of her heart.
私は確かにエヴァ様の言う通り無能で無教養な家具です。人じゃない。だから恋をする資格などないかもしれません。でも ったら、どうして恋を知ることのできる心などお与えになったのでしょうか。
Oh. At that point, Shannon held back her tears for a moment. The sound of the rain, which had started falling, along with the chill air in the reception hall, made her feel as though her shabbiness had increased another level.
本当の家具なら心なんかない。だから人を愛したりしなくて済むじゃないですか。だから苦しまない。私も同じ家具なのに、どうして心なんかあるんですか。こんな苦しくて辛い思いをするなら、こんな心なんて与えないでほしかった。
Oh my god.
なるほど。
Scared the shit out of me. What the fuck? It wasn't even that abrupt. I just wasn't expecting it. I was like very calm. I was listening to the wind. Suddenly you got some evil laughter in the background. Jesus.
家具に心を与えたか。
There's not even a name tag here for Beatrice. It's just...
あれも時には愉快なことをする。
Oh, I never looked this up, but I know I said in the tea party, the one time I've heard Beatrice before, it really sounds like Ozen from Made in Abyss. And if it's Ozen, then it's also the... Oh, man. What was her name? Diane? The part 4 of JoJo, the beautician. Is it the portrait specifically talking to her? The witch that never answered or laughed answered. What does she mean? I mean, I would assume by that man she's talking about Kinzo. But the way she says this... It's an interesting way to word it. I wonder what she means by that. And laughed. Was it my imagination? Was I hearing things? No, that's wrong. After all, the next words became a voice, and I could hear them, not with my heart, but with my ears.
人間は世界を構成する元素について紀元前の昔から探求を続けてきた。
Oh man, what is going on?
古代ギリシャ人たちは風、火、水、土の4つで世界の説明を試みたという。その後も数千年かけて人間たちはその4つにさまざまな元素を加え、5代、6代、7代、8代、12代とさまざまな解釈で世界を説明しようとしたが、唯一の真実である一なる元素を説明することはできなかった。しかし星の導きによって現れた一人の男がついにこの世界を構成する一なる元素を説明した。
The single element.
何かわかるか？
That is absolutely Ozin. There's not a doubt in my mind anymore. Shannon fearfully turned around. There she is! Right there, she existed. So, wait. Does that imply that... surely this all happened before episode 1 began. So, had Shannon already met Beatrice face to face before episode 1? Before the family had arrived? I mean, I guess she was one of the first people... well, she was in the first group to die. So she wasn't around during the whole debate of, is the witch real? Is the witch not real? So she wasn't around to give her input and say, well, actually, I've met her. Oh, man. Not as an illusion, but as a reality. The contrast made by the lightning made it clear that this was no mere daydream.
それは愛。
Ay! The witch of the portrait elegantly held the golden pipe to her mouth and giggled. She laughed at the ignorance that causes humankind's thoughts to stray far from the most simple answer.
その男は世界のすべてを愛で説明した。
I see.
それこそが一なる元
The
素。
single element that makes up the world.
男は最小の数で世界の構成を説明しきったのだ。なんとも単純明快にして豪快爽快愉快痛快。やがてその男の生まれた年は西暦紀元と呼ばれるようになったがな。
That man. Who could she be referring to? Like, I don't think this doesn't sound like Kinzo. Shannon lost any words to speak. She thought that when first meeting an unknown guest, her first words should be to ask that person's name. But without saying anything, Shannon knew this person's name, so she refrained. No, surely it would be the greatest disrespect for someone who lived or worked on this island to ask this woman her name. After all, she was the other master of this island besides Kinzo.
ベアトリーチェ様。
いかに
This is great.
わらわがベアトリーチェである。
What? Oh man.
千年を経ても人がわらわを見て最初に浮かべる表情は変わらんな。
The witch giggled at how Shannon's reaction didn't betray her expectations. Shannon realized that she had met with a being that mustn't be met with, and she took a step backwards. That's where the wall and the portrait were, so even as she gazed at the witch's portrait was touching her back.
お前の悩みは愛ゆえよ。
Well, in this case, that is true.
それはすなわち世界の一なる元素。つまりこの世のすべてだ。それが満たされぬということは世界が満たされぬに同じこと。それは穴の開いた水筒に水を汲み続けるのに似ている。くめどもくめども満たされぬ永遠の心の砂漠。人間の基礎にして全てにして現在。
Uh-huh.
わかるか？知識の実を口にしたアダムとイブが知ったのは愛だったのだ。
I'm curious, can I turn up the... Might turn down the music just one. in the voice of...
酒は我が友だ。
Okay, there we go.
それを知ったがゆえに人は楽園を追われ人足り得たのだ。すなわちそれは愛を知り苦しむからこそ人であること。心優しき娘よ、そなたは誇っていい。それを知った今、そなたはもはや家具にあらず。
Congratulations, Shannon?
そなたは今こそ人間なのだ。
I don't think she's just gonna accept
我が
that.
名にかけてそれを認めようぞ。凡庸の身には理解もつらき話か。まあよいわ。許すがいい。久しぶりに人間と話すのでな。饒舌が過ぎたことを謝ろう。
Without waiting for a reply from Shannon, Beatrice laughed pleasantly for a while.
詫びと言ってはなんだが、わらわの力でそなたのその願望を叶えてやってもよいぞ。
Oh, interesting. Okay. Shoot. What was Shannon saying just before the OP of episode 2 played? She was out there in the storm. Was she saying that Beatrice needed to fulfill her promise? The meaning of those words surprised Shannon even more than the witch's sudden appearance.
そなたを思い人と添い遂げさせてやってもよいと言っている。
Interesting. So now I'm thinking like the date and George proposing. Did this all happen because Beatrice worked some magic?
本来ならばそれに見合うだけの対価を要求するところだがわらわは機嫌が良い。それにそなたはわらわへの礼を欠かさず今日までよく尽くし。
Alright, yeah, I thought, yeah, Shannon's probably on the good side with Beatrice, and yep,
それへの褒美としてやってもよい。
本当ですか？
normally Shannon would have been shocked and struck dumb by this seemingly impossible guest. However, almost as though she was already under the witch's spell, Shannon responded.
わらわの魔法にかかれば思い人と結ばれるように取り計らうなど造作もない。
Why am I worried this is like a monkey's paw situation? Yes, of course. Shannon almost said it without thinking, but held back with her last bit of common sense. After all, this is a witch, a sinister being. The witch Beatrice is clearly trying to slip in through the cracks in my heart and take me prisoner. That sort of temptation, which so many fairy tale picture books warned me about when I was young, is right in front of me now.
イフもまた敬いの一つよ。心地よくはあるがこれでは拉致があかぬな。わらわは確かにそなたらが意味嫌う魔女像から離れはせぬ。だがわらわは敬う者には好意を返す。それは人間も同じであろう。そのように身構えられて好意を返せる人間もまたおらぬと思うがな。
失礼しました。そんなつもりは。
Shannon eventually realized how rude she was acting towards this guest. And she finally digested the words that had been spoken to her a short while ago. You are no longer furniture. Now you are a human. Is she going to accept that from Beatrice? As she reflected upon those words, Shannon felt as though the witch understood all her worries.
さっきのその褒美の話って何ですか？
お前がその心を虜にする男と結ばれるように取り計らってもいいと言っている。わらわの肖像画を日々丹念に磨いてくれたことへの礼とでも思うがよい。安心せよ。対価は求めぬ。
Really nothing.
わらわは気前がよい。だがな、対価は求めぬが頼みがある。
A request. Alright. Look, here it comes. Part of Shannon's heart sent her a warning. Yeah, I'm feeling red flags about this too. This is what all those scary picture books she'd read when she was little had warned her
この
about.
島のすぐ近くの海に岩が覗き、そこに小さな鳥居と祠が設けてあるのを知っているか？
Okay, so that's what Shannon was at the very beginning, right after the date scene. Shannon immediately remembered it. When you reached Rakanjima by boat, there was a torii and a shrine on a reef that was too small to be called even an islet. I'm pretty sure Kumasawa-san told me its history, but I can't remember it well. A traveling shugenja, a kind of holy man, had built it, or prayed there, or something.
ええ、知っていますが、それが何か？
魔に通じぬものに一から説明はせぬ。
Demon.
早い話がだな。あれには参っておるのだ。
I can't remember exactly what Shannon did there at the shrine, and I might just look back at the video after I'm done recording this part, this episode. I'm gonna, not episode 2, I mean like this recording. I'll go back and rewatch that scene, because it was only a minute or two long, I think.
実はな、あの祠の中に
Oh, the
あ
mirror.
る
That's
鏡
right.
が収められている。
Didn't she have to smash the
そ
mirror?
れをそなたに割ってほ
Yes,
しい
yes,
と
okay.
いうのだ。
I remember now. I remember. It was quite a suspicious request. Shannon didn't know the details, but anything stored inside a shrine would have to be something sacred. And she wants me to break it? It's changing like the... We're talking about Shannon in the third person, like it's a narrator. But then suddenly, the very next click, Shannon's talking in first person. It's kind of strange. I don't know if that's a mistake or done on purpose for some weird reason. Shannon didn't know the details, and she wants me to break it. What? It's a little weird. Might be a mistake. I'm not sure. Why would a witch ask a human for help instead of doing it herself? Can Beatrice not leave the island? Is that why? There was no need for Shannon to speak her thoughts aloud. Beatrice responded to Shannon's reasonable doubt before Shannon could give her answer.
あの鏡の魔力はわらわの魔力と相対する。人の言葉でうまく説明できぬな。例えれば食器の違いとでも言おうか。
Okay. Utensils.
あの鏡はフォークで、わらわの力はスープなのだ。
Sure. Okay. That's a good way to put it.
フォークでスープは飲めまい？ あの鏡の押し付けさえなければ、わらわはスープを飲むのにぴったりのスプーンが用意できるというわけだ。
Okay.
それさえあればスープも飲めるし、岩ろうだって掘り抜けるぞ。
Everyone loves a food analogy.
目玉だってえぐり
Gotta love it.
貫けるだったか。
Oh my. Gouge.
何の話かわかりません。
I don't think gouge the eye was one of the gouging options. Excuse me.
私の無教養のせいだとしたら謝ります。
こういうことだ。あの忌々しい鏡をわらわのために割る手間をかけてくれたなら、その褒美としてそなたの願いを叶えてやるということだ。
And we saw Shannon doing it. So, is all the George stuff really not earned naturally? Is it really going to be a result of Beatrice's power?
今日のわらわは本当に機嫌がいい。そなたが望むなら願い事を変えて金蔵に授けた黄金を丸ごとくれてやることにしてもよいぞ。
You must be in the best mood. Although I'm sure that would come with its own consequences.
お断りします。
To the gold or to the whole thing?
なんと
She was not expecting that. But we saw Shannon at the shrine. When she heard Shannon's voice, Beatrice realized for the first time that her expectations had been betrayed.
理由があれば聞かせよ。誤解があるなら解こうぞ。
She probably doesn't want to
理由なんて
force
よく
someone
わかり
to
ません。
fall in love with her, you know?
でも今日までこの島は平和で何も起こりませんでした。なら鏡を割らなくても今日までと同じ平和がこれからも続いていくはずです。
Yeah, I guess she's too selfless. She's not going to do something like that for personal gain. Is that what she's getting at here?
なるほどなるほど。それはもっともだな。そなたの言う通りだ。あれを割らぬなら割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が明日も明後日も続こうぞ。わらわが絶対の保証をしようではないか。ベアトリーチェの名にかけて言う。割れぬ今日までと同じ日々が明日も明後日も続こうぞ。
If you don't break the mirror, okay. Sure.
それは永久に永遠に。
Okay. Like an eternity of things never changing? Is this gone on to be a bad thing? Hold on. Shannon felt overwhelmed by an eerie illusion. The mirror probably existed for the purpose of restraining the witch. So Shannon broke it. The person who stood to gain was supposedly the witch herself. And yet, Shannon felt somehow that she had to do it for her own sake. It felt like some premise had been switched around.
わらわはあくまでも褒美としてそなたに思いを成就する機会を与えたに過ぎぬ。割ろうが割るまいがそなたの自由だ。 割ればわらわはそなたの願いを叶える。
I'm not really sure what happened here. Or what what Beatrice was getting at. Is she just saying, like, I really don't stand to gain from breaking this mirror? Like, no matter what, things will continue on peacefully. I stake my name on it. So it's really only just for your benefit, don't worry about it, kind of thing? Maybe.
割らねば今日までの明日が永遠に続く。
Or is she saying you're going to be stuck in a single day time loop forever if you don't go break it now?
そなたの願いは永遠に叶うことはない。
Oh. Oh no.
わかるか？何を言っているか。
Oh no. The witch was speaking. She was pressing Shannon, saying she must break the mirror if she ever wanted to be united with George. Well, you were kind of cool at first, being nice to Shannon, and then you just turned it around because she said no. It was a declaration that Shannon's feelings would never be brought to fruition unless she broke it.
やめてください。
Poor Shannon,
そん
man.
なの聞きたくない。
そなたを苦しめたかったわけではないのだがな。まあいい。 愛に苦しさを感じるも人間の醍醐味よ。その感情を存分に楽しむがよい。だが我が力を借りたいと願ったならいつでもあの鏡を割るがよい。そして我が名を叫び呼び覚ますがよい。
Alright, well, that is what she's going to
わら
do.
わは必ず約束を守るだろう。これならば文句はあるまい？そなたに今すぐの決断を迫るわけではない。
I wonder what pushes Shannon over the edge and makes her decide to go through with it. Was it really such an easy thing to do? No, it certainly wasn't. To Shannon, who was burning with infatuation and worried by love, being tempted constantly and eternally with a way out was truly a cruel trial.
この約束に期限は設けぬが、願いを叶える魔法には期限がある。その期限はわらわが決めるのではない。そなたの思い人が自ら決める。
Whoops. There we go.
意味がわかるか？
Yes, if he gets married or takes someone else,
わかり
your
ません。
time is out.
そなたの思い人が愛のちぎりを結ぶべき相手を決めた時がその期限となる。わらわは魔女だが鬼ではない。互いを愛し合う二人を引き裂く魔法は持ち合わせていないのでな。
Tear apart pair of love each other. It's kind of funny with the way the epitaph is worded. The whole tear apart the two who are close. The very similar wording. You possess no magic to tear apart a pair of those who love each other. Does that imply that, I mean, almost makes it seem like it seems to imply that Second Twilight, what happens there is not of Beatrice's doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too closely into that line.
そなたの思い人は 近いうちに見合いに臨むそうだ。
Oh, I thought he was walking into the house to do it, like, right then.
そなたは世界で一番その男のことを思っているかもしれん。だが世界で一番ふさわしいとは限らんぞ。わらわは見合いの相手を知っている。その娘は世界で一番後宮ジョージにふさわしい。良い学校を出て良い成績を残し、落ち着きがあって思慮深い。
I'm actually kind of surprised that Shannon's gonna go through with this after hearing all this.
お前より聡明でお前よりふさわしい。
She's actually going to do something selfish and for herself for once.
お前のような無知無能無教養の娘がどうしてふさわしかろうか。お前が一番知っている。お前が一番ふさわしくない。お前と後宮ジョージが結ばれるなど想像するだけでも罪深い。愚かしいことよ。愚かしい愚かしい身の程知れい。義務教育に行かせてもらった恩も忘れて身の程を知りな
He's
さい。
talking like Ava now. Yep, yep.
ジョージはお父様の
Start
血を引く
quoting
孫の中では嫡男にあたるの
Ava
よ。
completely.
ひょっとしたら未来の後宮家を背負うことになるかもしれない人。その期待に応えるためにたくさんの勉強を重ねて素晴らしい大学に入り素晴らしい成績を残しているわ。
It almost sounds like Ava talking now, but
そん
it
な
might
ジョー
just
ジ
be
と無能無資格無教養な使用人風情が釣り合うと
might be
本
Beatrice
気
just
でお思い。
trying to emulate Aunt Ava's voice. Oh, that's great. Great laugh. I love it. I love it.
やめろ、シャノンをいじめるな。
Oh, snap. Shoot. Should I end the episode here or go for another stopping point? We'll keep going. We'll keep going. Try to find another. Maybe the actual scene will end.
貴様は誰だ。
Alright. Did Canon see Beatrice? At that time, as Shannon held her head, trying to protect her heart from the blade of Beatrice's words, Canon ran in front of her. Canon didn't care who this woman was. If this was an enemy tormenting Shannon, whom he loved and respected as a sister, nothing else mattered.
カノン君下がって。この方は。
Alright, well, makes even more sense why Canon vouched that Beatrice is real in the kitchen in episode 1, considering he's seen her himself. It seemed Canon also realized that the being standing before him was the witch of the portrait, and also that she was something to be feared.
シャノンに褒美を取らせたかっただけだが、わらわの言葉が過ぎ、いじめてしまったようだな。
Oh shoot. Unfortunately, I do need to end it here. I just realized that I'm short on time at the moment. I wanted to go until the scene ended, but that's okay. We will just keep going, and we will pick it up next time. Oh, well, this has been a lot of fun. I really did not expect Beatrice to just pop out so early. I expected a lot of, calm, relaxing stuff. Kind of like how the start of episode 1, had a lot of calm before shit went down, but goddamn, shit's already going down. This is great. Beatrice is so much fun on screen. Just so entertaining when she's out. The little that I've seen of her being out has been great. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next episode. Goodbye.